Hey guys, welcome back to In a Pinch with Hitsuzan. I'm Hitsuzan from snuffhouse.com. All names haven't changed to protect the innocent. So I tried recording this review like 10 minutes after I recorded the In a Pinch 2 months in video, and got crap all over me. Um, Towards the end of recording, I looked up at the screen and it had frozen halfway through, and the whole computer froze up, and I had to restart the computer, and it didn't save the video, and I ran out of time, so I'm doing it tonight instead, which is why we're out in the garage. Kids are asleep, so I'm out in the garage. It's also why, if you notice me looking up at the screen frequently, I'm just making sure that it's not freezing again, because a few minutes ago I tried recording this video again and it did the same thing, so I'm hoping something's not up with my software. I use Logitech. I use a Logitech camera and the Logitech software. I'm hoping something's not up with that. It is an older computer. Usually, I don't know, it works fine. I've done tons of videos with it. Anyways, today we are doing Old Mill Sasparilla. It's really good stuff. If you guys look on, he posted on his site, Modern Snuff. I think he also posted on Facebook and on Snuff House. Mark did a really cool review of this stuff. Let's give you my opinion of it. Opening up the tin. Yep, still recording. Open up the tin. Color is on the lighter end of brown. I'll try to show you, but lighting isn't. Yeah, lighting is not great in the garage. It's on the lighter end of brown. In the last two times I tried to record this video, I said it was about the color of Wilson's Irish High Toast 22. It's on the lighter end of brown. You smell the tin. It smells like blonde root beer. I don't know if you ever had blonde root beer. I hadn't ever had it until my wife and I went back in February to see Martin Sexton in concert in Chicago, and we stopped at this restaurant called the 11 Cities Diner, and they make their own root beer there. And of course, I had to try it because I love root beer, and I tried the regular root beer, which was fire, and then I tried the blonde root beer, which I don't know, like, production-wise what the difference is, but taste-wise, it was like hyper-sweet root beer. It was like root beer with copious amounts of brown sugar in it, and that's what this smells like out of the tin, which is interesting because Chef Daniel does not bill this as being a sweet smell. It smells really sweet in the tin. Go ahead and take a pinch here. As I said in one of my other Old Mill videos, the tins are just packed so tight. You gotta kind of start working out of space, especially if you're a pincher. I guess spooning probably wouldn't be as difficult, but if you pinch, I pinch. Yeah, about a medium-sized pinch there, and sound good. All right, in the nose. The first thing that happens, and this could very well be like effect by association with scent kind of thing. But in the nose, I almost got like a sense of carbonation, and that's probably because the first scent that comes is root beer. Just got crap all over me. But so maybe like because root beer is usually heavily carbonated, and the first thing I smell is root beer. Maybe like that's why I'm sensing carbonation. But I swear, it's not like just every once in a while. It happened from the first time I took a pinch of this earlier this week, and it's still happening. Like I swear, it's like carbonation in the back of my face. It's really cool. I'm sure it's just my imagination again, but carbonation, root beer, but not sweet root beer, sarsaparilla, and I've never had actual sarsaparilla. Back when I was vaping, I used to use a juice that was sarsaparilla, and I liked it a lot. This kind of reminds me of that, but obviously a lot better because it's an Old Mill snuff and not an e-juice. Root beer minus the sweet plus the spice. There's definitely spice there. I know that in the bill, he mentions dandelion root, and I can't specifically pick it out, but I know that it's there because it just makes sense for it to be there. If you were doing a sassafras instead of a root beer, it makes sense for dandelion root to be in there. If you ever had if you ever bought tea that's meant for when you're sick, you've probably had dandelion root. I wouldn't have picked it out, but since I know it's there, I can tell that it's there. There is an impression of sweetness probably coming from the vanilla bean. I don't specifically smell vanilla, but there is a sweetness and something playing into the sassafras, because straight sassafras is actually kind of spicy. So because this is kind of creamy and kind of sweet without being sweet, the vanilla is definitely there. The cinnamon's definitely there. Two things mentioned in Chef Daniel's description that I don't personally pick up on. One, wild cherry bark. He mentions wild cherry bark, and it could be just because I don't know what wild cherry bark is supposed to smell like or taste like. I've never used it in anything. Maybe I just don't know what I'm looking for. So if any of you guys can tell me what wild cherry bark is supposed to smell like or taste like, or if you can tell me something that it's used in, I might be able to relate it to. So yeah, he mentions wild cherry bark. I don't know what that's supposed to smell or taste like, so I can't pick that out. He mentions juniper berries, and I do know what those taste like, and I don't get that at all. I use juniper a lot in my loose teas. My wife and I both like to buy various loose teas and then mix them up to make our teas and brew them. And I like using juniper berries from time to time. And for me, what they do is they bring like a tartness and an acidity to it, almost along the lines of lingonberry, but not quite as tart. But it kind of does the same thing. I've had a few snuffs that have juniper in them, and it stands out pretty well. If a whole lot's used, it's almost sour, bright citrus notes. If a little bit of it's used, it'll kind of remind you of gin, which obviously is made with juniper berries amongst other things. But the juniper I don't get at all. But what I do get is a really good herbal, earthy, kind of spicy, but not spicy. There isn't a good word for it. Spicy is the closest I can come to it. But a good earthy, kind of spicy, root beery kind of snuff. I'm not going to say it's root beer flavor snuff because it's not, and it's not meant to be. But what I will say is that if you're a fan of root beer, you're going to like it a lot. If you're not a fan of root beer, you probably won't. So really good stuff. But anyways, so the tobacco bill kind of makes me think that he wanted tobaccos that are going to be strong and have body, but not necessarily be noticed over what they were flavored with. Which in this case is fine. I can't think of a tobacco that excuse me, I just honked a chunk back into my throat. Now, like I said, I'd record this before this video. I recorded this same video, and I took a really big pinch in that one, and a little too much. But I can't think of a tobacco snuff-wise that specifically would go good with sassafras. So maybe picking tobaccos of good slightly spicy body that would just absorb the flavor makes sense. Creek definitely makes sense for the spiciness. The burley might be there to play on the vanilla to create the sensation of creaminess. That might be where that's coming from, is the vanilla playing off the burley, and of course the cinnamon. But anyways, so I don't know. I always got more to learn. There's always more to learn. But I love this stuff. You guys should check it out. Get a large tin. because one of two things is going to happen. You're going to love it and be glad you got a large tin, or you're going to hate it and be able to trade it really well. If you can't find anyone to trade a tin, if you get it and don't like it, get a hold of me. I'll trade you something for it. So anyways, that's all I got. I'm gonna enjoy some Peterson's Irish Flake. Good night. God bless and salud.